Hello everyone, my name is Christina, and today we're going to work on a metta meditation, but we're going to get warmed up first by working through just a little flow. We're going to build in butterfly pose, and then when we're ready for our metta meditation, I invite you to find that butterfly pose using any props you'd like. So I'm going to, towards the end of our practice, after we're warmed up, I'm going to use a bolster to sit on. You can feel free to use a block or 2 blocks, a pillow, a blanket, just something to lift up the hips while we're in the meditation. If you prefer, you can do this laying down as well. But we are going to do just a little bit of movement before we settle in for our meditation today. So I'd invite you to come into a child's pose, bringing the knees out towards the sides of the mat, and then letting the hips sink down towards the heels, walking the hands forward, and just letting the head come to rest on the mat if that feels okay, or the head can hover as well if that feels better for you. So just start to settle in here, find the breath, connect the breath with the body. Tune in to how the body's feeling. And then settle in here, find an intention. I'll offer the intention of loving kindness, being we're going to work on a metta meditation. But if there's something else that feels better for you today as we warm up, feel free to choose that for your intention. Taking one more big inhale here. Open mouth exhale. Inhale up to a tabletop. Bring those knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Finding some cat-cows. Inhaling, dropping the belly, roll the shoulders back. Gaze can come up just as far as is comfortable for you. And then exhale, cat pose. Bringing the chin towards the chest, arching the back, shoulder blades expand towards the ceiling. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. And one more time, inhaling and exhale. And then come back to that neutral spine. Find your tabletop. And then exhale, tuck those toes under, find your downward dog. Again, tuning into the body, taking any movements here that feel good. Taking about 2 more breaths to settle in to your downward dog. And then we're going to inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Staying here in that fold for a moment, having a nice bend in the knees, just warming up the body. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale up to your tall mountain. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands, step back to downward dog. We're going to inhale that right leg high, bend that right knee and open up the hip. So bringing that right knee towards the ceiling, the heel towards the glutes, creating a little opening here in the hips. Staying with the breath. Inhale that right leg straight. Exhale, bring it through to the outside of that right hand. So coming into a lizard pose, but not getting too deep here. So hands are going to be underneath the shoulders. Right foot can be on the side of the mat. It can even be off the mat if that feels better. And left knee can come down too. So finding the pose and making it work for you here. Again, just creating a little space in the hips. Being gentle here at the beginning of the movement. And settling in with the breath. So taking some time to use your inhales and exhales in the pose. If it feels good to even move the hips a little bit from side to side, feel free to do that. And then from wherever you are, lifting that left knee up and sending that right foot back to your downward dog. So taking a little movement here, noticing the difference in the hips, how your body's feeling. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhale, find that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up to your mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then right here, whether you choose your own intention or you're using loving kindness, send some of that loving kindness to yourself. As we move through these different poses, whether they present or bring up challenges, just tune in, notice, and then send some love to yourself. On your next inhale, reach those hands up high. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to downward dog. So again, taking some time here to pedal out the feet. Tune into your downward dog. Notice how it feels, being really aware of the body here. And then when you're ready, inhale that left leg high, bending the left knee, and then bringing that left knee towards the ceiling. Left foot comes towards the glutes. And then just finding that opening here on the left side. Staying with the breath. Inhale that left leg straight. Exhale, bring it to the outside of that left foot. You might need to help it if that feels better for you. Again, that right knee can come down or right knee can stay lifted. So we're just feeling into that hip space. Again, you can bring some movement here. So do what feels good in the body. Create the space that your body needs, never taking it too far. Finding the breath here in the pose. Maybe noticing without judgment how one side probably feels different than the other. 2 more breaths here. And if that right knee's down, lifting that right knee up, sending that left foot back for a downward dog. Pedal out those feet. Noticing the difference in the hips here. And then we're going to do that one more time on each side, really to open up there. So inhale that right leg high. Exhale, bring it to the outside of that right hand. Drop that left knee down if you'd like to. You can even roll on to the outside edge of that right foot if that feels better. So again, just tuning in here, not staying quite as long. One more inhale and exhale. Lifting that left knee if it's down. Send that right foot back. Taking an inhale and exhale. Inhale the left leg high this time. Bending that left knee, open up the hip. Inhale that left leg straight. Exhale, pull it through. Outside of left hand. Right knee can come down or stay lifted. And then if you'd like, you can come out on the outside edge of that left foot. And if that doesn't feel good, you can stay flat-footed here. So again, tune in, do what feels good. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, lifting that right knee if it's down. Exhale, downward dog. 2 breaths here. And then letting the knees come back down to the mat. Finding that child's pose again. So knees can be hip distance apart, or you can bring the knees out towards the side of the mat. Exhale, walk those hands forward. Settling in here to your child's pose. Noticing how this one may feel different than at the beginning of when we started to move. And just settling in here to the hips. Coming back to your intention. Taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale, filling up. Open mouth, exhale. And 1 more inhale. Open mouth, exhale. And then we're going to inhale up. Finding whatever prop you'd like to use here for our metta meditation. I'm going to use just a little round bolster. You can always just sit right on the floor on your mat. You can grab a block, pillow. So grab whatever tool you'd like to use to settle in for a seated meditation. And if you'd like to just lay on the mat in Shavasana, feel free to do that as well. So I'm going to like to sit towards the edge, kind of tuck my feet under so that my knees are below my hips, but find a spot that feels comfortable for you. And then find a placement for your hands that feels comfortable where you can sit and relax. Palms can be down or up. Bring those shoulders up towards the ears and then roll them down and back away. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good to you. Reconnect with the breath. Connect with the body. So after our child's pose, we're going to come up to the mat and we're going to bring our feet in front of us, coming into butterfly pose. Bringing the feet, palms of the feet or bottoms of the feet towards one another. And then maybe your feet are out a ways. Maybe you like to bring your feet and tuck them in a little bit, but just find what feels comfortable for you. If this is as much as you need, just stay here. You can always bring the hands and push on the knees a little bit. You can grab onto the toes and use the elbows to push down into the legs to create some opening. Trying to stay nice and tall and lifted through the heart. A nice straight line from the spine all the way down to the tailbone, up through the crown. Finding the breath here. Staying for a few inhales and exhales. And then grabbing that prop, so whatever that is for you, whether it's a block or a bolster, I'm going to use just a little round bolster here. Just to lift up my hips as we move into that meditation. I'm going to come back to that butterfly pose with my feet, just to create a little more space in the hips and legs. Maybe you notice how this feels a little different as your hips are lifted. So getting nice and comfortable here. And as we settle in, we can close our eyes. You can bring the shoulders up towards the ears and roll them down and back. You can let the hands stay open. So as I think about this time of year, we're coming into spring, thinking about the new life that comes, new energy that comes. And one way we can do that is by working through a metta meditation. So in a metta meditation, we're going to first send some love to ourselves today. Just taking a few breaths here to send some love to yourself. If that becomes a challenge for you, you can always just say, I love you. We may not always say that to ourselves, but it is important to love ourselves before we love others. So as you're here, taking a nice big inhale and an exhale, and now bringing to mind someone that you love, friend or family, breathing that in and out. Envision that person in your sight. Think about sending them some love wherever they are right now. Sending them love and energy. And now thinking of someone who maybe you don't love, but could use some love. Someone in your day-to-day or in your work week or in some meeting you have as a parent or whatever your role is, thinking about someone who maybe isn't someone you like very much or someone that is necessarily kind to others, but someone who you think could really use some of your love and energy, and bring that person to mind and focus on them. Focus on sending them the love that they need. Taking one big inhale here, and exhale. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Gently open the eyes if they're closed. Guide the knees back together. Coming to an easy seat. Settling in here. And then closing the eyes if that feels good. Bring those thumbs to the third eye. May you always know that you are enough to love yourself and everyone around you. Bring the thumbs to the lips. May you speak lovingly to yourself and others. Hands to the heart center. The light and love in me honors and sees the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me today. Go on out into the world and spread some love and kindness. Thank you.